Hi everyone, this is Sharon from Sharon's Scrappy Space, and I am going to show you how to make this gorgeous card. I made this for my mother for Mother's Day and just wanted to show it to you. I don't know if you can tell, but it actually has a 3D with the butterflies. So I wanted to show you how to do this technique and also focus on the background as well. Okay, we're going to start with a piece of very vanilla cardstock. We're going to use the Borrow Cube Motifs stamp, and I'm probably not saying that correctly. And I'm using Craft Very Vanilla ink, and this is a pigment ink, so it actually will take a little longer for this to dry, so it actually works well for embossing. Cover this with white embossing powder from Stamlpin Up. Now I use the same technique on the inside of the card as I did on the outside of the card. But I'm just going to show you the sample on the smaller piece. Now I'm going to use my heat gun and emboss this. And we're going to be using Baja Breeze Classic ink, and I've got a sponge dauber here. The other one I actually used the Stampin' Sponge. I'm going to give this a shot first and see, because I really kind of want to get a little bit stronger effect on the edges. And as you see, I'm starting off the edge of the paper and working my way on. Okay. It's really a cool way to make your own background paper as well. I'm just kind of doing this in a hurry. You could take your time and do it a little slower and get a more desired result. Okay. Now I'm just going to take a paper towel and just wipe this off, and it'll remove any of the ink that is on the embossed area. Now this piece of cardstock is very vanilla, and it's cut at 5 inches by 10 inches. This piece is cut at 5 1/4 by 10 1/2. This is Baja Breeze. And what we're going to do is we're going to place this on the inside here. Now we're also going to score this directly in half, both pieces. Okay, I've got both these pieces scored. And I found that it is better to go ahead and emboss this and ink it first before you score it. Otherwise you'll start getting some built up color here, and that may not be the desired effect that you're wanting. So I'm just going to use some Snell adhesive. Alright, so I'm just going to use my foam folder there. Okay, and I've got this scallop envelope die. I've already cut it out and glued it together, and it's going to make it appear like the butterflies are coming out of the envelope. Give you another view of that. So, and I'm just going to use some Snell adhesive and attach this down, and I'm just going to put it at an angle like this. Now I've got a piece of cellophane. It's actually transparency paper, and what I'm going to do is I've cut it in a spiral. I cut it in kind of a circle shape, and I just cut it in this spiral. I'm going to show you how I did that with this paper, because it's kind of hard to see the cellophane. It doesn't even have to be a really good circle. It really... Okay, and so you're just going to start like this, and I cut it, I don't know, a little bit more than a 1/4 inch thick, and it doesn't even have to really be all that neat, because people really aren't going to see it. And see it, I do it like this, and when I glue it down, I kind of tuck it in the envelope here, and then I usually test it first to see how it's going to do. And I'll cut a little bit of this off. This is just to show you. So I would put some sticky tape here on the bottom and then kind of slide it in the envelope, and then I put a piece of sticky tape here, close my envelope, and then open it up, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that with this piece here. And I found that it's always better to trim any extra after the fact. And you just need a little piece of the sticky tape. And I would suggest that you use the sticky tape because it's going to help hold this in place. Okay, I'm just going to kind of see how it's going to work. See, I think that would look pretty good there. So this is just showing me, I want it to end up about the top middle or so. And I'm just gonna stick this on, and I'll have to trim it because it's a little bit too big. Okay, now I've got that off, and I'm just gonna kind of tuck this in. I'll do this after. Now I'm just going to make sure it's laying flat, and there we go. It is actually attached. And I'm going to peel this off and just tuck this in. I preferred it to be over here a little bit, but this is going to work fine too. Now, I have used the Embosslet Beautiful Wings, and I've cut out several combinations of butterflies. So, I've already put them together, and I used glue dots to do that with. And basically I just stacked them on top of each other, and I put a couple little pearls on the bigger ones, and the smaller ones I put just one pearl. Isn't that cute? So I'm going to show you how to start building this, and we're going to use the glue dots as well to attach it. And I like to start with this one. And then I'll put one up over the end here. And now I'm just going to start placing these on here. I'll start with one here in the middle. Okay. Trying to decide what's the best way. Now when you put your glue dots on, you want to make sure that they're not sticking out underneath like this one is, because it's going to actually stick to your card. So I'm just going to put a couple here in the middle to make sure. So you can see it'll fold down straight. Now it's going to be a pretty full card, and you'll probably have to do extra postage if you mail it. But you know, it's for Mom. It's worth it for Mom. And plus, I don't know how to do anything simple. My brain doesn't work that way, I guess. So now they're giving us extra time to do videos, and of course I'm taking every single second. And I've got some dimensionals. I've got Happy Mother's Day from the Teeny Tiny Wishes stamped onto the word window. And I've used a Not Quite Navy for the modern label. So I've used Baja Breeze, Very Vanilla, Not Quite Navy, Soft Suede, and Baja Breeze. So now we're just going to start filling in some of the areas here for some extra butterflies. At some point it's like, okay, so when do I stop? And I'm thinking that that's probably a good stopping point, so you can kind of see how it's all in a spiral there, and it closes up like this. Now we're going to start putting the outside together. Okay, now this is 4x4 piece. This is a 4.5 by 4.5, and this is 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. And this is Not Quite Navy. And this is the Soft Suede, and of course this is a piece that we put together. Now I've got some satin ribbon, Not Quite Navy, from Stamlpin Up, and I'm just using my two-way glue bottle to tie this knot. And see how it does. And we're just going to cut it at an angle like this. And just play with it a little bit. And I think that's the way I want it to be on my card. Okay. I use the Beautiful Butterfly Big Shots. And I've gotten all the different sizes, and I've also put pearls here. I used the glue dots and just kind of bent the wings up, and I ran this through the polka dotted embossing folder, all the different layers. And I'm staying towards the middle too, so I can kind of curl these edges up a little bit. And I'm going to use some of these basic pearls from Stampin' Up. And I'm going to use 3 of them. I'm just going to make some little antennas here for the butterfly. So I'm just taking 3. And now I'll use the big pearls. Just make kind of the top of the antenna. Okay. There. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Okay. Now I'm going to put some adhesive here on my card, since it seems probably a little flatter than the other. This is not going to be a flat card, but you will be able to use the Stampin' Up! Envelopes, the 5.5 by 5.5 square envelopes. The other card, I did a little bit of sponging on the butterflies, but I think I like the clean look a little bit better myself. So, I'll show you the difference. This one was a little bit too big. That was my, my one that I was messing with, and I managed to get it off size a little bit. But see how they both look. Isn't that beautiful? I think any mother would enjoy getting this for Mother's Day. Check out my website at SharonScrappyspace.com for more ideas and tips on using Stampin' Up! Products. And I would absolutely love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thank you and have a great day.